My 5-year-old son maliciously complied when I told him to get in the bath. I'm a father to a 6-year-old boy and, like many parents, my wife and I have a system for his nightly routine. One of us does the bath and pre-bedtime tasks and the other reads the bedtime story and sits with him for a few minutes while he falls asleep. This particular story unfolds on a night about a year ago when he was 5. It was my turn to handle the bath and pre-bedtime routine. It was just another evening in our household. We had finished our dinner, and it was time for my son's bath. The process was always the same. He would pee, undress, and then hop into the bath. My son, being a typical 5-year-old, loved to stall any process that he could. On this particular evening, he was undressing at a pace that would make a sloth look speedy, all the while trying, and failing, to suppress his laughter. I had a pile of work waiting for me, and my patience was wearing thin. I needed him to get in the bath so I could finish up my work for the day. He had managed to take off everything but his socks when I finally lost my patience. Please just get in the bath, I pleaded, hoping to expedite the process. He looked at me, a mischievous glint in his eyes, and said, "Okay, if you say so." He then moved to step into the bath, pausing just long enough for me to notice that his socks were still on his feet. He was standing there, one foot on the bathroom floor, hands gripping the edge of the tub, and the other foot hovering just above the water. The pose was oddly reminiscent of a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. As I opened my mouth to point out his still-socked feet, he plunged his foot into the water, quickly followed by the other. He stood there, both sock-clad feet soaking in the bathwater, looking up at me with the biggest grin on his face. I was dumbstruck for a moment before he said, "You told me to get in, so I got in." The absurdity of the situation hit us both at the same time, and we burst into laughter. TLDR, told my 5-year-old to get in the bath before he was fully undressed, and he did. The teenage years are going to be interesting at your house. Not sure if we should laugh or cry for you knowing what's headed your way. When I was young, my parents told me to get in the bath. I did. And 15 minutes later they come see that I am in the tub with no water. They asked what I was doing. I said I was dry cleaning. I'm not even mad. This kid is going to appreciate dad jokes. Oh boy. Get ready. Lol. We called this letter of the law. He is going to have you rethinking rules, boundaries, chores, etc. to see if you've left a loophole. And if you have, he will find it. My son was so good at this. We teetered between exasperation and admiration. Kids can be such adorable little turds. That's kids. Mine would take a bath, shower, but when I get near boy still smelled. His answer was, "You didn't say I had to use soap, so I got in, took a shower, got out." Ah. He is 19. I still randomly ask him if he remembered to use soap. Raising a grandson here. Years ago when he was 4 or 5, he was in the tub, dipping his hand in water and waving it at me so drops flew at me. Told him if he didn't stop I was climbing in and taking over his bath. He didn't stop, so I did. Clothes and all. The look on his face. We laughed till we cried. I had forgotten that episode. Thanks for triggering the memory. He really socked it to you. This has been an irregularly occurring event at our house since our son was about the same age. Hell, there have been times I've picked him up, fully clothed, and put him in the bath and told him, "I told you to get in the bath." Quote, "It's never with malice and we never get mad at him. What's the point? It's some wet clothes. They're going in the washer anyway." I couldn't be a parent. I admit this. Mine. when slightly older, would tell me, "You said I had to shower. You didn't tell me I had to wash." Or variations on this. "You didn't say I had to wash with soap." Gets old after a while. My son, then 34, was playing with a toy, but was to have been picking things up to straighten. My wife told him to drop it. He looked her straight in the eyes, grinned a little, held his arm out to the side, and dropped it. That boy was a handful. Now 31. And a great young man. Might be time to turn the tables by having him give you instructions on how to make a PB&J sandwich. https www.youtube.com/results. Search query equals PB%26J plus sandwich plus instructions plus very plus literally. Introduce that fella to Calvin and Hobbes. Honestly, I feel like you won. He got in quicker and ended the stalling. Who cares about a couple of wet socks? The Sockness Monster. We were doing lunch one day. One of my twin boys likes tomatoes and the other doesn't. So the one with a tomato on his sandwich was literally taunting the other with it. So I said, "Stop or I'll slap you with it," as I hand one ready for my sandwich as well. He said okay, fine. So I slapped my 10-yo with a tomato slice. Then the three of us just sat there a moment, staring at one another, then laughed and ate. Our adorable compliance. We got very fed up telling a similar-aged boy, "Do not hide your Wellington boots up trees." Finally we issued an ultimatum. There would be consequences if he did it one more time. Next day, no welly boots. But they were not up a tree. We hadn't mentioned, "Do not put your Wellington boots in the rain barrel." Technically correct is the best kind correct.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.